The U-Bahn is Berlin's urban underground railway system. The yellow trains are iconic and run every 2 to 5 minutes during peak hours and every 5 minutes for the remainder of the day or every 10 minutes in evenings. Delays, I'm told, are a European experience. The history of rail transport in Germany can be traced back to the 16th century. The earliest form of railways, wagonways, were developed in Germany in the 16th century. Modern rail history officially began with the opening of the steam-powered Bavarian Ludwig Railway between Nuremberg and Fulth on the 7th of December, 1835. Wow, I didn't know that.
If you went to sleep, you got shot.
I went to... Really?
Yeah.
Interests that were the USSR, England, and the US that were so USSR was the eastern side.
Rob's doing a great job. However, on the day that we filmed this, it was really windy and it was quite distracting. But he was doing a great job and actually we learned a lot. But what I think Rob is trying to say is this. One of the reasons why Berlin is so interesting was that it was deep within the Soviet sector of occupied Germany and later communist East Germany. First, Berlin was important because it was a constant point of contention between the communists and the West in the first 2 decades or so of the Cold War. So why was Berlin divided? The separation of Berlin began in 1945. After the collapse of Germany, the country was divided into 4 zones where each superpower controlled a zone. In 1946, reparation agreements broke down between the Soviet and Western zones. Response of the West was to merge French, British and American zones in 1947. The Berlin Wall stood until November 9th, 1989, when the Hof sung, "I'm looking for freedom." Well, actually, when the head of the East German Communist Party announced that citizens of the GDR could cross the border whenever they pleased. That night, ecstatic crowds swarmed the wall. Some crossed freely into West Berlin, while others brought hammers and picks and began to chip away at the wall itself. To this day, the Berlin Wall remains as one of the most powerful and enduring symbols of the Cold War. And guess what? I went to the local gift shop, spent €10 and got a little bit for myself. Gave it to Zefan and he was not bothered. The trouble is, you can't compete with Blue Peter. They gave out a badge. The Altes Museum is considered one of Berlin's most impressive neoclassical buildings, with 18 columns gracing the front of the Grand Museum. The rectangular-shaped building encloses 2 generous courtyards and a 2-story centrally located rotunda, based on the design of the Pantheon in Rome. The Altes Museum, German for Old Museum, is a museum building on Museum Island in Berlin, Germany. Since restoration work began in 2010 and 2011, it houses the Antikensammlung Antiquities collection of the Berlin State Museums. The museum building was built between 1823 and 1830 by the architect Karl Friedrich Schinkel in the neoclassical style to house the Prussian royal family's art collection. The historic protected building counts among the most distinguished in neoclassicism and is a high point of Schinkel's career. Until 1845 it was called the Königliches or Royal Museum, along with the other museums and the historic buildings on Museum Island. The Altes Museum was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1999. Images of Amsterdam or Venice are sure to spring to mind first when you think about canals. However, with its over 180 kilometres of serpentine waterways connected by the staggering 1,700 bridges, Berlin easily outsizes both of those famous canal networks. The tower is also the tallest in Germany at 368 metres. It grew up a little bit after installation of a new antenna in the 1990s. Previously it had been 365 metres. The observation deck on the Severe is located at 203 metres above ground, which means that visitors can observe the landscape of Brandenburg 42 kilometres away on a clear day. The antenna itself is 118 metres high. The currywurst is a type of fried sausage that is sliced and served with curry sauce or curry ketchup. It is often eaten with French fries or a bread roll. The currywurst is said to have been invented in post-war Berlin. Today, it is popular in many regions of Germany and has become an icon of German culinary culture. Just as different parts of Germany have different accents and beers, which is what I like, many regions have their own sausage. There are an estimated 1,500 varieties, each with their own preparation, ingredients and unique blends of spices. Yes, currywurst is one of the most popular types of fast food in Germany. Some 800 million are consumed per year. Now stick that in your bun. Berlin Tramway is the main tram system in Berlin. It is one of the oldest tram networks in the world, having its origins in 1865, operated by Berliner. Now, this word here I had to look up in Google. It's Verkehrsbetriebe. Actually, you can ride the Ringbahn all day and all night without getting off, ever. The world clock, or in German, Welthuhr, also known as the Urania World Clock, is a large turret-style wall clock located in the public square of the Alexanderplatz in Berlin. Like its towering neighbour, the wall clock, or the Welttheater, was constructed as part of the redevelopment of this square during the GDR reign. This impressive clock was constructed to reflect the 24 time zones on the circular head, so depending on where one is standing, any time in the world can be shown. But just like everywhere else that we've been in Berlin, there's always somebody playing music, and we thought this was amazing, so we sat back and had a little listen. Unfortunately, you can't see it because of the way the frame is shot. However, the lighting is reflecting beautifully of what is clearly the Bode Museum. The Bode Museum was first known as the Kaiser Friedrich Museum, Emperor Friedrich Museum, originally conceived as a museum dedicated to Renaissance art. It soon housed a wide-ranging collection of European art. In 1956, the museum was renamed after its first director, Wilhelm von Bode, who was responsible for significantly expanding the museum's collections. We hope that you enjoyed Berlin just as much as we did, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to follow us on YouTube. We will be putting out more videos in the future, and I will put a link down below.